Hello, everyone. Back again with another Two Question Tuesday. We have today with us, we've got Steve Weissman, who is the Info Gov guy at the Holly Group. Steve and I have known each other for quite a while, and we will try to keep this to two questions, which, if you've seen us talk, is almost impossible.
No
So
guarantees.
we're gonna talk about information governance today, obviously. So first question is a very basic one you're probably tired of answering. Why should companies stop giving lip service to information governance?
I would almost take the counter question and say, why should they start? And I say that because, in my view, there are far too many organizations right now who aren't even really thinking about it. Now, lip service is, of course, not nearly enough, but most organizations have information issues. They can't find stuff. Or, we know it's in there, but we don't know where it is. How do we get to it? Or we have
Right.
duplicates. These are not new issues, but they've gone on for so long that a lot of people think about it as just sort of a chronic pain, like tennis elbow.
Hmm.
You don't go to the doctor because your elbow hurts, but while you're at the doctor, you put your shirt on and you get a twinge, and the doc says, "Hey, what's up with that?" And then you can get it treated. So I would like to see more organizations start by paying it lip service at the very least to say, we have an issue here. And as the flow of information continues and continues to accelerate, it's just getting worse. Regulations are changing.
Yeah.
If you're in the government space, the freedom of information stuff is a driver. You know, in this information business of ours, we love to talk about how to keep from being sued, but there are positive reasons to do all this stuff as well. And I'm a big proponent in fixating on the business problems that are caused
Yeah.
because it takes too long to find what you need to make the business decision or to have confidence in the quality of the information. So it's a good business decision, that kind of thing. So, yes, to the spirit of your question, organizations should start doing more than pay lip service to it because it's a real business issue and it's only intensifying. But if you're not thinking about it, I think it's high time you start and at least get the lips flapping within your organization. Records people get this. It's the same basic discipline, except the way I define it, you want to apply all that records goodness to all the information in your place, structured and unstructured, paper and electronic. So the first step is to start talking about it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always amazing when I ask a question and it wasn't as I could have asked it in an even worse way explained. So this is going to be quite the segue because we're talking about companies not paying attention to information governance, and now we're going to talk about AI in the context of governance. So AI, artificial intelligence, as everyone knows, is smoking hot right now with ChatGPT and everything else. How could AI help solve information governance problems or challenges that the current tools struggle with today?
I don't know that it can. How's
That's
that?
depressing.
Thanks
That's
for coming. Good
depressing.
night, everyone. What drives me crazy about AI is the amount of time we're spending talking about it in the context of doing information right. Most of the things that are no, I'll scratch that. All of the things that I have seen in the information space that is described as an AI application, they're not. They're just not. It's great use of machine learning. And I'm not really intending to split semantic hairs here because they are different.
Hmm.
I broadly think of machine learning as basically self-learning. You give it stuff to study and it learns from it and it gets better at things. Whereas AI, I think of more as self-teaching.
Mhm.
It's different. It's making those connections independently, theoretically, of being fed it.
Right.
And I can't think sitting here right now of a worse idea than to apply AI to information governance. Because information governance at its core is a human function. Somebody has to decide what is the retention schedule on this document. How long do we need to keep it around? By statute, by policy, it can become a legal liability. If it's a draft, do you need to save the draft? Which one's the official version of the thing? Those are decisions to be made by humans. Once those decisions are made, yes, there are plenty of tools on the market right now that work really, really well, even to automatically classify buckets of information to determine where does it fit and which policies apply. They are awesome. They make mistakes, and in fact, more often than that, they come up because it's all probability based, right? And you can set the threshold. Again, another human being, how accurate is accurate enough? The real beauty of it is it then lets the people focus more on the exceptions than the totality. And then you can automatically have the system run automatic reports that say, hey, in the next 30 days, these things are expiring. Or, hey, there's a duplicate document just got checked in because we looked at the hashes or whatever, and we think it's a dupe or it's a PDF version of this Word doc or whatever. But that's not AI, not the way we're all ready to run from the hills at whatever the preposition is. That's it. I have concerns about that, certainly on a social level. But do we want ChatGPT writing our policies? That seems scary.
They'll be current up until April or September of 2022.
Yeah, well, but maybe you've done this. I hadn't until I thought somebody was talking about it. I said, I'm curious. So I had ChatGPT. I said, write me a biography of Steve Weissman from Waltham, Massachusetts, baseball Little League coach, all of which are things associated with me. And it wrote, I have to say, it was fairly well written, but I had no idea that somewhere along the line, apparently I got a degree in computer science. I'm like, wow. I said, well, I do computer-y things, but I never did. And then I said, all right, let me do it again. And this time I'll be more specific. Write me a biography of Steve Weissman, the InfoGov guy, governance. And it was better, but still fictitious. So I don't want this thing determining what kind of surgery I need or what disease I may have or writing my privacy policies or thank you, no, I pass. I do see, sadly, again, for human reasons, these things running amok because they're based on human inputs, and human inputs are notoriously faulty. Yeah. The built-in biases. I'm gonna have to belabor the point. I know it's 2 questions Tuesday, but you didn't give me a time limit. 2 hours. So I think the issue surrounding AI is a big one and an important one, and certainly worthy of the conversation. But honestly, not in the context of information. I just don't see it. And anybody who wants to go down that route, but please don't hurt me because I don't trust what you're going to get.
Well, thank you. As you just alluded to, we could probably go 24 questions with this AI and information governance, and you spent decades on this. So I'll just end now and say thank you, Steve. It's always good talking to you.
Likewise. Thanks.